Hello and welcome to Bad Creepypasta, a show made by three guys who are huge fans of One Direction, but their early stuff before they sold out. Our first story is...
Just be sure, we're not fans of them.
No.
Let's just get that one straight now.
Heavens no.
Right now.
Our first story is called Tetro and has been requested by a bunch of people, so sorry we didn't put
you all.
Sorry we didn't put your name up.
I think
but
someone was called Doverkin, that's about it.
there was quite a few of you that asked for this one. One night, while going through the internet...
Whoa!
He better have brought his towel.
Yeah.
It's quite sticky in there. I found an old video with not many views and clicked on it. The video was called Tetro Free Download. I clicked it because I was getting tired of my old games.
What?
It
was
took
a video?
It took a while, which is apparently one word, to download. But I figured it was just because it was a rather large file.
What?
When I started the game, it looked a lot...
So, you're clearly new to the internet because you just randomly downloaded something you
You
found.
downloaded a video which contained a game.
Yeah, it was filled with viruses and child porn.
When I started the game, it looked a lot like Tetris at first. And I figured it was just a rip-off of Tetris.
Really?
And the name just supported the idea.
Oh, can you tell me again what kind of game? What is it like?
Well, after waiting forever at the loading screen, I pressed the button to play single player. The game was just like Tetris.
Really? Holy shit, man! How just like Tetris was this? Was this just Tetris?
If we say Tetris again, we might summon it.
But with different music and a different background.
Do 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 do
Yeah, it's
do 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 do.
After a minute or two, the game froze, and I was considering deleting it since it was such crappy quality and basically just Tetris.
Except basically spelled wrong and a Tetris again. Too much Tetris.
I can't get across how Tetrisy this game was.
Then the screen turned black, and the weird face of a deformed man came onto the screen.
That should be appearing right now.
It looked poorly drawn, as if it was made in paint.
Wow.
And depicted the moon, apparently. No, it depicted a man with the flesh of his face seemingly melted off.
Or a pancake.
A weird nose... excuse me.
A weird nose.
A weird noise started playing in place of the theme music. It sounded like a person screaming.
Sounded like Kefka's laugh.
And I was starting to get a little wary. I tried shutting down my PC, but the monitor refused to turn off. The screen was getting louder. I tried pressing the escape button, nothing happened.
Nothing ever happened.
Wait. So he turned his, presumably he turned his off at the back. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's not working. The escape button.
It doesn't work.
He's like, I thought there was something really wrong with my computer, so I just shrugged and walked away.
I was really starting to get freaked out now.
Why?
I unplugged the PC from the wall and ripped out the cords attaching the monitor to the computer. It still wouldn't shut down. The scream was now so loud that my ears felt like they were starting to
Why
bleed.
is the screen loud? Why wouldn't it be the speakers?
I hit the screen with a paperweight, breaking it, but even though the picture had finally disappeared, the scream was still there, and was now so loud I would be surprised if the neighbours weren't waking up and calling the cops.
Oh, they always call the cops.
No, they've been partying too hard, they're asleep.
Thinking I was murdering someone. Yeah, it was 6:30 in the morning. I hit the monitor again, and thankfully, screaming stopped. Because proofreading is for wankers. The next day, since my computer was now completely unusable, I went over to the library and searched the game name in Google. Only one result came up.
Tetris.
And it showed the user who had supposedly posted the link, his number and street address. Bollocks.
You know,
Here I am, folks.
it's that easy.
I called the number and Nad told him about the incident last night. His voice sounded strange, almost like glass scratching on concrete.
What? What does that mean?
So totally unintelligible. So unable to speak.
What does that sound like? Just out of curiosity.
What did he smash a window in there?
Yeah, just smash the window, get it on the concrete.
I told him about the screaming and picture. He said one thing.
Van is coming. That doesn't sound like glass and concrete, but I don't exactly have an example of glass and concrete.
Then he hung up on me.
What a dick.
I tried calling him again, but it said it wasn't a valid phone number. So I wrote down the address, and the next day I drove over to his house. When I rung the door...
I really doubt you know how to drive.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're getting scared over shitty little
Not even that, if you got so bored that you decided to just randomly download something you found on a YouTube page no one had gone to.
Which was so like Tetris, may I just point that out, if anyone hadn't got that already.
When I rung the doorbell, I heard the screaming again, and I broke through the door and I saw it. I saw his pale, disturbing face, and the man I was talking to earlier was dead on the ground.
How did he know it was the man he was talking to earlier?
That's a really good point, actually, because he was talking to you on the phone.
It turns out he's a super detective, along with all the other brilliant things that he is.
I tried to walk slowly out, trying not to be noticed, but then...
You just broke the
You
door!
broke the door down, yeah!
You know, like, it's really pretty hard to ignore the person who's just gone, oh yeah, and kick through the fucking door.
Oh shit, that made loads of noise. Better creep out!
The looming figure turned around and walked closer. I started to run towards my car, but he caught me and tackled me. My head hit the concrete and I blacked out.
Did he sound like...
You woke up and bummed him.
I woke up in a strange room, wrapped in a white blanket. I looked around, panicking, and realised I was in a insane asylum. I heard a man talking ... He said, "Wanna play?" I was shaking with fear. I saw something moving in the darkest corner. It got closer and closer. He was right there. He was holding a knife. I tried to move away, but I was strapped down. Last thing I remember was hearing the scream. Actually, last thing I remember, I was headed to the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. There's only one comment, and it's from the languescent gamer. I'm not. That's probably
wrong.
That's probably a word that I'm too stupid to know. This is pretty much every cliche in the book. It was a good laugh to read, but in terms of serious creepypasta, well, it's shit. Really, really shit. 0 out of 10.
You're on the ball.
But apparently it was a laugh to read, but no points.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself, to be honest, mate. The next one has also been requested by a whole ton of people. It's only seems to be available to read on Facebook.
That kind of scum and villainy.
So it's called The Real Chuck E. Cheese. Have you ever thought that there was something the creators of Chuck E. Cheese were hiding something?
No, I haven't. We don't have those in this country.
Let me try this sentence again. Have you ever thought that there was something the creators of Chuck E. Cheese were hiding something from us all?
Something?
No, because that doesn't mean anything. Or have you ever found something to be off about the place?
Once again, no, not relevant.
Even the creepy, and then in inverted commas, robotic mascots.
Robotnik?
The dance
compared
on
to
stage.
the real, like the bioengineered ones. The giant real rats.
I didn't until I found out the truth!
The truth!
About Chuck E. Cheese. It all began on the first time I had ever visited the place. I was around the age of 5 or 6, so I of course was pretty ecstatic to go. Seeing all those commercials of kids eating pizza and running around without a care in the world, on arcade games and on the play structure, made me almost get down on my hands and knees to plead and beg my mum to take me.
Please!
Could have taken a much darker turn.
Yeah.
After finally getting her to break, she told me... She took me. I was the happiest kid in the whole world. My mum drove me over just a few hours before evening. So, maybe around 4:30 or so. I almost knocked over the woman at the door who gave you the little stamp on your hand. Running ahead of
Pretty, fucking hefty 5-year-old then, aren't you?
Running ahead of my mum and bursting through the doors like a maniac child.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually I was stamped and literally screeching as I ran around to all the games and
I was a
places.
terrible child.
I was a horrible disappointment to my parents, who promptly left me at the Chuck E. Cheese saying, lol, 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 he's your problem now.
What a horrible misbehaving child. We will leave him here, abandoning this rude one, and let's see if we can make a better one.
After a bit, I stumbled on over to a game. Like Whack-A-Mole, but with sharks.
You mean, but awesome?
Right by the staff only room. One shark whacking minute later.
Alright, gotta give that credit. Way!
Don't even need to make fun of that. I'd won the game. Before I could squeal in success and collect my tickets, my ears caught the sound of something very strange going on near the staff only room. I could hear someone say, test number 15 on mutated rat results in angered behaviour, such as throwing desk and scientist at the wall. No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
You didn't hear that, because if they were conducting some sort of creepy experiments down there,
They wouldn't be doing it in like... They would be doing it... the lab right inside the fucking
the staff only room.
restaurant.
Yeah, you know what? We'll just openly discuss this where wandering ears could just be.
You know, yeah.
Where children, or I don't know, the press could be.
You know, just it's
Like, you know, children. You know, children. They're they won't mind if they see something bizarre or hear it. They want, and if an adult sees them, they're probably tired. Their children's probably misbehaving.
You know,
All the cheese fumes got them confused.
let's put a secret laboratory right behind this staff-only door. No one will ever go in there.
Except somebody who can't speak English who thinks it's the toilet. Maybe they were
Or
making...
just someone who's fucking nosy.
I began to wonder what in the world they could be talking about.
No, you couldn't, because you probably wouldn't understand most of those words, because you're 5.
Maybe they were making a new game. Being so young, I had no idea at all what was going on in there. Being curious and feeling a bit interested, I pressed myself against the door and listened in as carefully as a 6-year-old could. Where are your parents?
Wasn't he 5? Wasn't he 5 a minute ago?
I could hear them snapping at each other. Things like, "What are we going to do with this beast?" And, "Get it away from me!" A mumbled shout poured over whoever was in there.
What? A shout.
Shouts come in liquid form now, and replied with a louder, "We can't just kill that thing. It's a beast version of our mascot."
He's flipped a chair. There's too much important stuff on the table for him.
But Jacob, it's a beast version of the mascot!
Oh, fuck it, I'm eating.
Oh.
He's hitting
Stop
stuff.
throwing You are so pissed at that.
Fuck off! Fuck right off with that shit. You fucking finish it.
Great, cheers, yeah. I always end up finishing it.
Yeah.
Like every other episode now. Why is this becoming a thing? The talking stopped. I blinked for a second and pressed myself closer on the door. I quickly realised that this was a very bad mistake as the door opened from my weight against it. Yeah, because, you know, that's insecure.
So, not only is it like a secret lab that's in a functioning restaurant where they're doing illegal, humane experiments, they didn't even lock the fucking door! Let's hope a priest doesn't come in. Our evil plans will be ruined. Wind, my one true enemy.
It is, I've just tried. Oh god. I slipped in, going from leaning to the door to falling face flat on the floor at the staff room. Of the staff room. Immediately, footsteps trampled over to me, hands grabbing my arms. I was out like a light in a few seconds, and I still don't know what the hell they did to me.
Alright, so
did to that.
I got knocked out by someone grabbing his arms. What a pussy.
I woke up slowly, my eyes feeling heavy and my body feeling weak in some sort of interrogation room. I told...
Where are his parents?
It's Pizza Hut. It's brilliant.
It's pizza!
Whatever restaurant. They've got a bio lab, an interrogation room, fucking Mortal Kombat 2. They've got everything.
Fucking Mortal Kombat 2. Oh. A tall man with a serious expression wearing the cleanest white lab coat I've ever seen walking towards me out of the blue.
Please tell me he has some naughty ears on as well.
Yeah, like he knew I'd be awake. Like he knew I was awake. Right? His voice was deep and it was scratchy from what I could tell when he began to speak. You know, don't you? You know. He said, I was 6.5 years... What?
He keeps getting older.
I was a 6-year-old half knocked out at Chuck E. Cheese, so I didn't know what they expected from me. I babbled for a second, letting my tongue function correctly. What? I replied dumbly.
What? No.
Blinking hazily, he grabbed my arm, making the static feeling intensify somehow. What?
No.
He pulled me a bit, making me whine. Though I quickly shut my toddler trap and a loud banging noise on the door echoed through the room. Naturally, me being so young and clueless, I screamed, thrashing around. The man let go of me. Snapping at me to shut my mouth. Ugh. Forgetting about almost everything, I thrashed around some more, slipping out of my chair. I kicked my legs, going into the corner of the room. I screamed again, banging my foot against something, making a loud metal clang against my foot. I twisted around and whined down an air vent. I kicked it again, out of scared, hot anger. Sorry, where is this going? I don't understand. Thank God this is almost over. With a loud scream and a clang, the metal front popped off.
Because, mighty 5-year-old legs.
Yeah, because, all young children are just superheroes these days. Again, letting out a shriek when I heard the man stomping towards me out of the noise, clawing... What? Again, letting out a shriek when I heard the man stomping towards me out of the noise of clawing metal and banging. Is that a sentence? I scooted inside, spitting at him. I was scared half to death. I mean, what was I doing here? Where was my mum? Well, at least he addressed it. He swiped at me for a moment, but quickly pulled back his hand. There was another loud bang and the man stepped back. Using my tiny little hands, I grabbed the air vent's door, pulled it back, pressing on the door. Just in time, ... A piercing hiss was followed by a shout from the stranger and the loudest bang on the door. I crawled back, scooting back into the vent. I had to leave. Even being so young, I knew I was in trouble. I hastily turned around with a bit of a struggle, slowly crawling down the vent. A loud manly scream echoed through the vent.
A loud manly scream. It had to, like... it was screaming, but it wasn't one of those sissy screams.
Yeah, you know. Being followed by more. They were in unison with the sound of cracking and tearing, ... which I now know was the... What? Which I now know was the flesh and bone from the stranger. I got out as fast as I could. A small light was round the corner after a few minutes and I stomped on it. The opening of the vent easily popped open and they really weren't paying attention to how tightly they were screwed on, were they? My feet stumbled as I climbed out but were soon trampling to where I saw my mum last. And she was still there, with a worried expression on her gaze. I ran up to her, hugging her tight. My eyes were now glazed with wet, hot tears. I wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home. I want to go home! I whined and complained. Just that's all we got to say. Just like, no one almost tried to murder me. There was no beast version of the mascot.
Fucked up shit. No, let's just go home and ignore it.
I love the way once you give up, you just proper give up. You don't even do anything. Just let me and Matt do it.
I'm just checking my emails.
Yeah, it's more important, I suppose.
Oh god, more creepypasta review.
Oh god, more requests. My mother gave me a strange look, but put a finger on my cheek. You must be tired, sweetheart, she cooed, picking me up.
She's a really, really great mother. Like, I've been crying, I'm probably scratched up from crawling through an air vent. You must be really tired. You must have had so much fun today.
Yeah.
No wonder he misbehaved so much if he's just got such an incompetent fucking mother.
I clenched my small fist, holding tightly onto her shirt. We walked out of the building, me being so lovingly carried to the car. A distant whir of sirens in the distance became a bit louder, and police...
Distant whirring in the distance.
Yes. And police cars pulled up into the large parking lot and skidded into a halt in front of the once amazing and fun Chuck E. Cheese. My mother almost ran to the car and quickly buckled me into my car seat. A couple of hours...
That wouldn't look suspicious, would it?
No. A couple of hours later, home and safe that night, I walked out of my room to get some water before I went to bed. A habit that I was trying to procrastinate.
He's going to see something in the window, isn't he?
So I didn't have to sleep. And my mother was watching the news. The reporter was talking about some sort of mutated rat coming out of Chuck E. Cheese and disappearing down the alleyways. So what happened to the real Chuck E. Cheese? God only knows. But I will never, and I repeat, never go into any damn Chuck E. Cheese for as long as I live. That beast mascot. That's it. That's done.
Right. So I have a theory. This child is clearly an idiot, and it was Fox News who reported on the.
Yeah, it was Fox News who actually reported it.
Fox News here. A mutant beast has escaped and gone down the alley.
And who was responsible for this mutant beast? It was, of course, the Democrats.
Yeah. Of course.
Obamacare.
Yes.
Well, that was shit.
Yeah. Well, as every creepypasta we ever do are shit.
I know, but that's a special kind of shit. I was like, if Chuck E. Cheese was secretly run by Umbrella, shit. No, not even Umbrella. Umbrella would be decent enough to bury it underneath the Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, you know.
Not have it at the top level.
Yeah, just on a stupid staff-only door behind, the fucking whack-a-mole sharks. I love that shit. I would love to play that. But yeah, this has been shit. Final thoughts on Tetris, I mean.
I don't have a lot to say about Tetro, really. It was bad. It was funny bad. What really made it work in terms of comedy was the picture. Without the picture, it would have been nothing.
Chuck E. Cheese, nothing.
Chuck E. Cheese, I have nothing positive
He
to say
flipped
about
a fucking chair over.
The chair is still over, and it's not a particularly well made.
He stomped around him and started punching things.
I did. I was annoyed. It was immature, but the thing is, it's that they do some of these stories. They do bring that out in me, and in Toby, of course, you're not entirely.
There's a willing. You're
not entirely like above it all because you've stormed out before, and
yeah,
I think a lot of these stories do that. But it's important it's important to maintain that we are, you know, here to provide, you know.
Yeah, we are here
show-
to not read the creepypastas, just walk out halfway through.
Like,
a show
Need
that's,
someone else to do
a
it.
show that's
there's
fun,
the willing,
you know.
you can disbelieve certain things, like there's willing suspension of disbelief, and then there's this bullshit of like we have a bio lab in a working restaurant.
Oh
I think
dear.
my biggest issue with this creepypasta, and I've said it before, is that they're written by just any old schmo. You know, there's no thought, there's no talent behind it. It's just any idiot can just jot down a story and go, lol, it's finished.
Lol, it's finished, and then it gets deleted by creepypasta wiki quite a lot. Skeletons.
Yeah.
Lolololol.
Before we have a chance to insult it.
So
Yeah.
this has been sheeta pasta, the shit.
It's been shitty pasta, poopsa, creme vleevloes.
And like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned because
been
you know
crepes.
we've got some really
Creepy crepes.
great stuff.
We've got some
coming.
erotic new videos coming out. So.
Mhm.
In fact, we got Matt's new workout video, so subscribe for that.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that and would like to see more videos like it, then why not click on my square head to subscribe. Alternatively, you can subscribe to my other channel where I do dramatic readings in a much less arrogant and sarcastic way. Perhaps you'd like to follow me on Twitter at Movie Sherwood, or follow Toby on Twitter at Silent Rocker, but not Matt because he's not on Twitter because he's too fat. If you'd like to leave a comment, then feel free to do so. You can let us know what you thought of the video, or whether there's a bad creepypasta you'd like to see us attack in a future instalment of the show. Thanks very much for watching once again, and see you very, very soon.